everyone, good morning. I am Ritchelle G. Cordita, and today we are going to talk about how language may have started. Many people have tried to explain where language came from. Some use stories, some use history, and others use science. And now, let's explore these ideas one by one. So today we're going to discuss about biblical, mythological, historical, and scientific accounts. Language is one of the most defining traits of humanity. It allows us to communicate, express emotions, share knowledge, and build societies. Throughout history, scholars, scientists, and storytellers have proposed various theories to explain how language may have originated. These theories fall into three broad categories: mythological, historical, and scientific. So, let's start with mythological origins. In myths, language is seen as a gift from God or nature. Mythological origins of language. Myths offer symbolic explanations for the diversity and mystery of human languages. These stories are often tied to cultural beliefs and creation narratives. Here are the examples. Hindu World Tree. A tree grew from the center of the earth, connecting heaven and earth. Its destruction led to the fragmentation of language. So they believe that it is a tall tree connected to heaven and earth. And when it was destroyed, people started speaking different languages. Death of Wururi, Aboriginal Australia. A gruesome tale from southern Australia where the death of a woman named Wururi caused people to speak different languages. So, it is a tale from southern Australia, and they believe that after Wururi died, people started speaking different languages. In Greek, they believe that Hermes invented language and writing, while in Hindu, Saraswati is the goddess of speech and wisdom. In Norse, Odin gave humans runes or symbolic languages. And then in the Philippines, indigenous myths link language to spirits or nature. So, in mythological, they believe that language is sacred and a gift from God and from supernatural forces. And now, let's move on to biblical perspectives. So, in biblical perspectives, language is also seen as a gift from God. Adam naming animals. In Genesis chapter 2 verse 9, God gave Adam the power to name animals. Tower of Babel, found in Genesis. This explains linguistic diversity as a divine response to human pride. God scattered people and confused their language after they tried to build a tower to heaven. So, after the people tried to make a tower to reach to heaven, God stopped them by making them speak different languages. So this shows that language is powerful and connected to human pride and identity. And now, let's dive into historical views. Historical view. Humans began speaking around 150,000 years ago. Writing systems appeared about 5,000 years ago. And language evolved through social interaction and survival needs. So it simply means that history tells us that humans started speaking 150,000 years ago, and writing came much later, about 5,000 years ago. Language helped people to survive and work together. So, these are the theories: the imitation, or the mimicking natural sounds, the gesture. Spoken language evolved from body movements, and musical language developed from emotional sounds and rhythms. So, in imitation, people copied sounds from nature, and in gestures, language came from body movements, and in musical, language started from emotional sounds through rhythm. Despite centuries of inquiry, schools still debate the exact timeline and mechanisms of language development. So, they believe that language emerged gradually through human evolution and cultural development. So, now let's move on to scientific origins. Scientific origins of language. Scientific approaches rely on linguistics, anthropology, and cognitive science to study how language functions and evolves. So, science uses tools like linguistics, anthropology, and brain studies to understand language. Key concepts: linguistics, the scientific study of language structure, sound, and meaning. Polyglot, a person who speaks multiple languages. So, linguists study over 600 languages to understand universal patterns and differences. Do you know that Dr. Jose Rizal is a polyglot, which means he can speak different languages? In neurology, brain structures like Broca's and Wernicke's areas support speech. In genetics, FOXP2 gene linked to language ability. And evolution, language gave humans a survival advantage. And now the theoretical models. Here are some fun theories of how language may have started. Theoretical models of language origin. Several speculative theories attempt to explain how language may have emerged. The bow wow theory. Language began by imitating natural sounds. For example, is the animal noises. Next is the ding dong theory. Speech arose in response to the inherent qualities of objects. Lala theory, proposed by Otto Jespersen, language evolved from musical and rhythmic vocalizations. Next is Popo theory, proposed by Henry Sweet, language developed from involuntary sounds like cries and sighs. And lastly, the Yo-he-ho theory, proposed by Edward Burnett Taylor, language emerged from rhythmic chant used during labor. So, those are some fun theories of how language may have started. And did you learn something from it? So, where do you think language came from? Do you think it's from God? Or do you think it just grew slowly through time? Whether through stories, history, or science, one thing is clear: language is special. It helps us connect, learn, and grow. That's all. Thank you for listening.